Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to discuss how chess differs from other sports in the wins and losses category, right? In other sports, let's take basketball for example, right? We can judge somebody's level of play based off of several different categories, right? How many points did they have? How many rebounds did they have? How many steals? How many assists? How many defensive stops? There's so many things to judge one player. Let's say for example Stephen Curry had 30 points, 10 assists, and let's say 10 steals. He had a crazy game. He just had a triple-double, right? That game for Stephen Curry, and let's say they lost, he can lose that game, but at the end of the day, he's going to be respected after that game because, man, you did everything you could do. You know what I mean? There's going to be some people that's going to be like, but you lost, though. But at the end of the day, if we look at his stat sheet, he did everything that he could do. 30, 10, and 10? Like, who really doing that? Little small 6'1" point guard, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy, right? But in the sport of chess, it's very, very different. You could play a brilliant opening. You could play a brilliant middle game. You could get into a very, very tight and close ending, right? You could get into it where you have it. You're just one move away from winning the game, and you can make the wrong move. You could blunder. You could make a bad decision. And all that work that you did in the opening, all that work that you did in the middle game, all that work that you did to get to a winning end game does not matter after the game. Okay, I say this because there's been so many times where in tournaments, I may have been winning the game, right? I was literally winning the game, had the game won. Say it's round one, and say I win round one, and in round two, I'm winning the game. I'm playing somebody higher rated than me. I'm winning, and then I just do something crazy. Like maybe I blunder, maybe I make a wrong decision, maybe I let a square go, maybe I just make a mistake that costs the game. You know what I mean? Whatever mistake I make, when I leave the board and I lost that game, it does not matter. If I made a mistake that resulted in a loss, when I go and I talk to other fellowship, man, I should have won because of this, and that, it literally doesn't matter. Why? Because there's no stat sheet to track it. There's no stat sheet to track it. There's no stat sheet to say, oh yeah, you outplayed them in an opening, or you outplayed them in the middle game, or you had the better position moving into the ending. The only thing that matters in chess is the win column and the loss column. Did you win or lose, right? And I just think that's very, very unique about the sport of chess. And I say this because there's been so many times where I've had the game, I've had the position, and I'm just like, man, you go into the hall and then your friends or whoever else in the other tournament chess players ask you, did you win? Did you lose? And then you got to say that sad reality, like, yeah, I lost. But I should have won because of this, and that. It's almost like it doesn't matter. You lost because there's no stat sheet. There's no brownie points for anything that you did well. Because what? You lost. Like, there's nothing else. There's no other stats to determine anything. You just did not gain a point for that particular loss. So I think that's very, very unique about the sport of chess. Like, if you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. And if you try to discuss why you should have won or anything like that, it seems like it's like, yeah, I hear you. Maybe you should have won, but sucks to suck. For real. Like, there's nothing that you can't come like, yeah, but I had 30 points. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I had 10 steals and 10 assists that make you feel better about yourself. So chess is really, really interesting in that way. Like, if you lose, period. And I find that just very crazy because there'd be so many times where I'm like, man, but you guys should have seen how I played. You guys should have seen my brilliant move. You guys should have seen, the position I had. You guys should have seen, the way, you guys should have seen my opening. You guys should have seen my pawn break. You guys should have seen my attack. It was great. I just made one mistake, and that one mistake will cost you. And that is the scary part about chess. Like, we have to limit the amount of mistakes we make. Why? Because, like, that one mistake that you made, the one mistake could cost you the game. And guess what? All your hard work that you did in your opening, in your middle game, in your strategic play, all game, that one mistake, that one blunder, okay, that one missed opportunity can really, really cost you the game. So in chess, guys, it's about one or two things: wins or loss. Did you win the game or did you lose the game? Everything else in between, there's no way, there's no stat sheet for it. There's no way to track it. And honestly, nobody cares. That's why I just stopped. Like if I play a game, if I win or lose, I don't go into the tournament hall and talk with the other players like, yeah, I lost, but I should have won because of this, and I try not to do that anymore because I've just learned that it doesn't do anything. There may be games that were super duper close. Even games that I won. Well, I haven't had any games that I won. It's like, hey, I should have lost. Not in tournament play, but in tournament play, I've had many games that I've lost that I really felt I should have won. But again, it's just a feeling. You lost. You know what I mean? So I've learned to not even go into the tournament hall and be like, yeah, but I should have won because I had this and that. Because if you should have won, you would have won. But you didn't win because you made a mistake. I mean, chess it's a very, very, very... It's a beautiful game, if you ask. It's a beautiful game, but you gotta limit the mistakes because the mistakes can cost you the game, and there's nowhere in the stat sheet to say you were doing anything. You know what I mean? It don't matter. You lost. And that is the truth about chess. So wins and losses, baby. Wins and losses. I've learned not to even talk about it. Like if I had a position and it was so great, I don't go into the tournament hall anymore and be like, yeah, but I should have won. Because it means nothing. I've learned that it doesn't mean anything. It just sounds like, you're making excuses, to be honest. Like, okay, you should have won, but you lost. It really sounds, like you're taking from the other person because they won. How could you say you should have won? You made a mistake. And that's the thing about chess. I wish there was other stats, you know what I mean? Where it was like, yeah, but I had this position and da-da-da-da, so I could get... The thing is, you get points in chess. You win. If you win, that's 1 point. If you lose, that's 0 points. If you draw, that's half a point. And then you move on to the next round. So if your stats meant something, like maybe you get some type of point, then maybe it'll matter. But it literally does not matter. You get 1 point for a win, 0 points for a loss, and a half a point for a draw. So whether you win or lose your chess game, just keep it pushing. You go home, you analyze, you train, you work, and you get better. So that whatever mistake you made in that particular game, you try not to make it again. Because that's literally the only thing that you could do to be better. Talking about it don't matter. Oh, but I should have did this, but I should have did that. Like, there's even videos on here where I may talk about, man, I should have played this and I should have played that. But that's because I'm talking to y'all. That's kind of like, I'm talking to myself. Like, I'm learning and I'm sharing with you guys what I learned. You know what I mean? But as far as, like, talking to, in the tournament, the other people in the tournament, like, yeah, but if I just would have went there, he would have lost the game. It don't matter because you don't have the point. So chess is very, very serious in that way. If you either win the game or you lose it, that's it. You could talk about how you should have won, but at the end of the day, you don't have that point to move on to the next round. So you lost. Other sports, there's other stats. How many touchdown throws did you throw? How many, tackles? Let me not try to do the football analysis thing. Let's just stick to basketball. How many points did you get? How many steals? How many rebounds? There's other things to judge how well you play. In chess, you either win or you lose. It don't matter the position you had. If you lost, you lost. And if you won, you won. So guys, keep winning. And if you shall lose, learn from it so that you don't lose in that way again, rather than talking about it. Because what I've learned, at least for me, is talking about a loss, even if I'm dead on smack or incorrect, like, yo, I should have won if I simply do this. To the other players, they weren't looking at your game. They wasn't watching it because they was playing their own game. So it's like, and you should have won, and so guys, I hope that makes sense. Chess is very, very critical in that way. And it's a beautiful game. For that reason, my recommendation is learn from your mistakes, get better, and play on. But don't go trying to make excuses. Because, honestly, if the person wasn't watching the game, it just sounds like, oh well, you lost. Sorry. But you don't got the point to move on with you to the next round. Okay, guys? I hope that makes sense. It's all about wins and losses in chess, and I'm trying to be a winner. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.